This is Jed MacKay, and you're listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Yes, welcome back, loony listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 334, and Rebecca, I feel there's a bit of deja vu happening
I
here.
know.
How are you going?
I feel like it's a bit of a Spider-Verse thing. Like, let's just do this again.
For those that don't know, and I hope you didn't see it, there was about 19 minutes on air a few days ago. We live streamed and things went sour. The internet didn't work, so I've changed rooms. As you can see now, it looks like I'm in a cell, which is great. But Rebecca, you look. Have you mirrored your image? I do record the fan on the other side. You just moved
I
the
don't
fan.
think so. I haven't changed anything. I don't think.
Okay. Well, you are with your High Priest Khonshu, of course, and as I mentioned, this is our episode 334. It is a Moonshine. And what we'll be covering tonight is a new comic book that recently dropped. It's Moon Knight Volume 1, Issue 26 by that fantastic team, Jed MacKay. And it's Federico Sabatini, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. As well. Personality Crisis. So we'll be getting into that. But before that, of course, a huge thank you to all our patronies. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your support for the show. Rebecca and I have been on and off just more recently, but really appreciate you sticking with us. And as well, CLZ Comics and Dreamland Comics from Schoenberg, Illinois. So Rebecca, how are things? A little bit tired. You were saying?
Yeah, I haven't quite got back to proper sleeping since I got back, so we're getting there.
Are you taking anything like medication or anything to help sleep? No.
No. I'm just doing what I can to sleep when I can. And I have a different work schedule than normal, so kind of sleep at all sorts of weird times of day.
Okay, and you don't drink as well? Because I was going to suggest, Rebecca, the little Canadian club there might help with that. I shouldn't. I would drink responsibly. Everybody.
I think I just have to stay up fully one day, and then. But each time I think I'm going to do it, I just go, sorry, everyone, I've just been napping. I'll just go for a little lie down. Well, because, I'm getting so little sleep, I'm getting migraines. So I'm like, I better go lie down because of my migraine, and then falling asleep. And then it's like, it's lunchtime. And I'm just not used to it. And luckily, my work schedule is such that I can do that.
Yes.
But I don't want to get used to it for when it isn't like that. I'm hoping to get more work in, so...
Right, yeah, you're saying, I think it's beyond August, right? The things will kind of click back into place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking to do a little bit different from September. So it's just like at the moment, it's a little bit in flux. And I work first thing in the morning and then right at the end of the day. So like as in 8 a.m. and then 5 p.m. So it's really quite... kind of split, so I've still got to get up at stupid times, but then I don't get the benefit of. So I just got to stay awake one day. Anyway, this is very boring. Sorry, everyone.
No.
Matchsticks. Boring sleep issues.
Matchsticks help as well, Rebecca. I was told.
So I hear, yeah.
Prop them up. Prop the eyelids up. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't feel I should be talking to someone with a newborn about sleep problems.
That's fine. Look, Rebecca, I mean, seriously, between you and me and anyone who's listening, I think it will all catch up with me in the end. I'm talking down the track, but I think all these light sleeps that I have, because I'm generally a bit of a night owl anyway. I feel I don't get enough sleep as much as I should be getting, and I fear that will down the track affect me. But at the moment, I don't really mind. So. Yeah, we have. I mean, I should also mention Loonies and Patronies, of course, we are live streamed at the moment. All new comic book discussions will be live streamed, simulcast over Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all that. So we're up there. Go check us out, and we will be talking about the comic and talking to some visuals. So any visual references during the podcast, if you're listening to it on the podcast, it's on the slides that we are showing. But Rebecca, a bit of news. I mean, we did cover this in the 19 minutes a few days ago. It's fun to go, go through.
After we joked about there not being any news, we kind of then suddenly found some news. So I think the most interesting news is the new Lego Disney Plus minifigures.
Fantastic.
Who has Gus with in a fish tank, and Moon Knight, Scarab, and the Moon Dart thing. And they are coming out on the 1st of September.
Nice.
So you have to buy them blind.
Sorry, what was that, Rebecca?
They're in they used to be in bags so people could feel them to try and get the right shape.
Oh, those are those
now
things.
they're going to be in boxes to save the environment.
Okay. They sometimes sell that over at some service stations that we have as well. So you might even be lucky enough to pick them up. Yeah, like for just like the impulse buy near the counter.
Nice.
They have the little Lego things there. But yeah, I know the ones that you're talking about. So you just you're buying blind. Hopefully, I mean the other ones look pretty good as well.
They are really good. There's like Agatha and both Hawkeyes and
a slew of X-Men,
Werewolf by Night, a couple of X-Men, Storm and Wolverine,
and Beast as well.
Oh, and Beast, yeah.
He looks pretty cool. And then I think we were discussing whether Stature was in there. She looked like, I thought it was Cassie Lang, some sort of Ant-Man / Wasp character.
It's Goliath.
It's Goliath. Okay.
Apparently. Apparently, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
She-Hulk's there as well.
Oh, Shulky. Yeah, lovely.
Shulky and Echo.
Echo. What is happening to that TV show? Do you know?
Somebody just sent me the weights of the different ones. So if anyone wants to go into their store with a scale, I don't see that happening. But
or if you're really good at determining it by picking it up.
Well, if you can determine to the gram by picking it up, then I think you should be in a Marvel comic yourself. It's a very specific power.
Actually, incidentally, Rebecca, do you have a power? Have you discovered a power in your your time on this earth? No. It could be as like mundane as anything. Like I always thought at first, and I think I mentioned this to some other people. When I was little, I always thought my superpower was to be able to unknot any knot without having to cut it with some scissors.
That's cool.
And I hold it true. I still think that I haven't been defeated by a knot yet. So I'm pretty happy with that. Also, ironically, doing podcasts, Rebecca, Eve will testify to this. My superpower is to put people to sleep by talking. So maybe that will help you.
I think you've told me that before, which is probably a bad idea when I've just woken up, but
Yeah. Well, I got one yawn out of you already, so that's
that's true.
Looking good. No superpower? No, okay.
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
Getting cool comics, that's your superpower.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what other news do we have. Oh yeah, I discovered live on air last time that there's a Moon Knight versus Werewolf by Night Marvel Tales book coming out.
Yeah, very cool.
They're sort of like small. It's only like $5. That's coming out in October. It's got all the old issues with Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night. There's the Hachette Legendary Marvel Collection has the bottom coming out.
This is for Rebecca. You mentioned for the extreme completionists.
Completionists, because it is just a reprint of the bottom, but it's like hardcover but with the series kind of. So it's like one of those collecting series, like you buy a different graphic novel a month or two a month.
Yep. Well, I've got to keep. I'm sorry.
But it's nice that's being counted as one of Marvel's legendary collections.
Yep.
And go on. Sorry.
Oh no, I was about to. There's a thing about you've got down here Marvel Zombies, which looks really bloody
Yeah,
good.
so like, I mean, I think we saw this in solicits, but we only just remembered it. That Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood #1, which also out in October, has a Moon Knight story.
Yes, and who are they?
'Cause I seem to
Ashley.
remember we talked about it being it's about Khonshu. Yeah, Ashley Allen writing and Justin Mason art. I don't know either
You
of
don't know
them.
the names?
No.
No. Also, as well, just I've got to put like a pin on it as well. We've got to keep an eye out. I know it's later in the year, but that novel, Rebecca, that we
Yeah,
spoke
I
about
actually
earlier, that'd be
ordered
cool.
that while we were recording last time.
Oh yes,
The Choose
yes,
Your Own Adventure novel. I can't remember what it's called
yes.
now, but that's also
Yep.
out November,
So
I think.
yeah,
And
that'd
then
be
we were
good.
having a chat on Discord about all the Moonlight stuff coming out and how crazy
Mm-hmm.
it is. And Fi, the username, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
pronounce it like the letter,
Yep.
um, said that according to the Amazon listing, Moonlight Volume 5 is issues 24 to 29. Which is
Woohoo!
strange because Capuccio just teased some art from #30, but also when they did their announcement of the death of Moon Knight, they said the arc was going to be 28 to 30. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if Amazon's listing's gonna change or if there
No,
seems to be something a bit messed up there.
a bit
Um,
weird.
about
Clerical
where
error.
issue 30 fits in because I can't really see them breaking it in the middle of an arc, but also
No, you're right. 24,
yes,
25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Well, that's 6 issues. So yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it may be that falls out as well. I don't know. It's
yeah,
something to keep an eye on because I've not been buying them in trade.
yep.
So
Maybe 30 is the big bumper issue, the big end of issue.
maybe, but you'd still
Yeah.
expect them not to have. I'm gonna see what it says about Volume 4 just quickly.
Hmm.
Um, because it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
seems strange. Because they're normally 4 or 6. Yeah. No, oh no, it's gonna be wrong. Because 4 says it's 19 to 24. So I'm
Oh, so
guessing
it's
5 will
25,
be yeah.
25 to 30. Okay,
Yeah, I
fair
think
enough.
that'll be the mistake.
Oh, I've got to catch up on those trades. But actually, I'm kind
I'm
of
waiting
not
for an
as well.
omnibus. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I
If we're
think
getting past if we're getting to 30 issues, then we're gonna get an
there's
omnibus.
got, I mean, surely. And look, as much as obviously I'd love the Black Cat run by Jed MacKay. If Black Cat can get a nice omnibus and Jed MacKay is just smashing out of the park, here comes Moon Knight. So
Yeah.
I'm
But
looking
also
forward
it's
to
just
that.
like I don't know. I mean, like we've also got them all in single issue. I'm not rushing to the trades. Like I would like
Yeah.
to have it in trade, but we'll
Hmm.
see what happens.
Yeah. So exciting news, Looney listeners. There's plenty to chew on here, whether it be toy figures, comic books, novels. So that's good, or trades. So plenty of stuff on White Noise at the moment. I'm just trying to think of anything else, Rebecca, which I did come across, but no, I think most of it gets covered in Discord. A huge shout out to Fi as well.
Yeah.
Very on top of, as well as are you, Rebecca. I mean,
Well, I
very.
mean, I was just most of mine was just from shopping last time. I was looking for variant covers on there. I put Moon Knight and suddenly all this other stuff showed up.
Yes. I mean, incidentally, as well, I finally ordered my copy of Black, White, and Blood, the Treasury Edition.
Nice. Good.
So yeah, and I can't remember who. Shout out again to the Discord. Could have been Fi, mentioning how well it looks, how good it
It
looks
really does
in
look very nice. Yeah.
oversized. Yeah.
Because we were
So
talking
can't.
about whether the Marvel Zombies would have a Treasury Edition. I mean, like, I don't know if I'd buy it just for one issue, but if I like it, then who
I
knows?
kind of like zombie. I like Marvel zombies. I mean, I haven't got any of the
I mean,
Marvel
I've
zombies
liked some
prior,
of
but
Marvel Zombies
yeah,
sometime, but I mean, it's not a sort of must buy for me. But
nah,
it's one I
no,
think that you could probably do some really good stuff with Black, White, and Blood.
yeah. Oh well, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And this is what is like, if I just a little bit of a tangent, Rebecca, but every Tom, Dick, and Harry seems to be doing like publish a Black, White, and Blood thing. I think
Yeah.
DC, Marvel. What is on the go there? Is this just like a flavor or of the
Yeah,
month?
I think like after DC did it, then I think DC
Okay.
did it first. They did the Superman
Yeah.
blue and red, didn't they? And the
Right.
Batman
Yeah.
gold and
Because I've
uh
seen Yeah.
And then Marvel made theirs the black, white, and blood, and
Because I've seen, I think it's Dark Horse or IDW or Boom, one of those are doing a black, white, and blood as well. Like literally,
I
like
mean,
a black,
it
white, and
kind
blood.
of makes sense because it's just like it's
Hmm.
essentially putting it out in black and white, or doing one in black and white with a splash of color.
Mm.
And obviously we all like blood. I mean,
would like
I don't know. I
orange.
don't know. It's just like they all just pick up on a trend and then go for it,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Fair enough. I prefer orange, black, white, and orange, but it doesn't have that zing to it.
I'd
So
like some. I really did like the Superman blue and red one. I thought that
okay.
worked very nicely. And the
Pr-
Batman. Oh no, it was Wonder Woman gold, wasn't it? And
Oh,
Batman.
your gold is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what the Batman. I guess just black and grey.
Yeah. black, gray, and blacker.
Black, grey,
Yeah.
and just tiredness.
Yeah. I should ask Finn. It was really funny the other day, Rebecca. I was asking Finn, just a bit of conversation. Oh, what's that color over there, Finn? And I thought it was like a blue, green.
Yeah.
You know what he said? He said
What?
teal. I'm going.
Oh, bless
Yeah.
him.
I go, yes, it is teal, but I didn't really
Scared
expect you to say that.
It's very precocious
Yeah, exactly.
in a good way.
Absolutely. And great. Oh, I'm so glad we do have Mario back with us. Thank you, Mario, for joining. I know you had to suffer those 19 minutes, not with Rebecca, but with the internet. So Mario says Matt Wagner did Black. Yes,
right,
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Black,
Yeah.
White, and Red with Grendel. And I think with Boom, I think Red Sonja, they've done Black, White, and Red as well. So
that sounds
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh, we've got one of the OG loonies, Josh Geronimo Johnson. Hello, guys.
Wow.
Oh, he's saying, hey, guys, I was going to wait to read City of the Dead in trade form, but my LCS put issue 1 in my pull box. That is a sign of a great fan there. So I got it anyway, and I enjoyed it way more than the regular Moon Knight book. So it looks like I'm going to have to get that, I think, in single issues after all. Josh, get in there, Josh. What are you doing waiting? I can't believe it took it.
Is it only 4 issues or is it
Yeah.
I think it's
4 issues. I think about 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took an accident for you to do. Come on, Josh. Come on. Josh has been happy accident. I know Josh has been. He has been amping it up, but getting the epic collections. Rebecca, I've seen.
Oh, nice.
Josh, you've got like a gazillion ones now, but awesome stuff. But yeah, get yourself some City of the Dead. That's good to hear as well. And thanks, Mario, as well, as always. So Rebecca, I don't know. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Do you fancy a bit of Moonshine?
Let's do it.
Yep. So as mentioned, of course, Rebecca and I will be weighing in on Moon Knight Volume 9, Issue 26, titled Personality Crisis. So, Rebecca, you know what's coming. Credits, release date August 2nd, 2023, with a cover date of October 2023. We've got writer Jed MacKay, of course. Oh, is that right? I whipped this off fandom. It says Jonathan Hickman as well.
Yeah, he just did that God's preview page.
Oh, the thing at the end. Yeah,
yeah.
Sure. Okay, that one page. Come on.
Yeah, the one page that was impossible kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway, that's kind of flummoxed me. Penciler Federico Sabatini with inks as well. Colorist the ever reliable Rochelle Rosenberg. Letterer Travis Lanham, and editor Tom Brevoort. Now, of course, available in floppy format. I'm sure Rebecca has a copy. I have a copy. I'm sure you, the listener, has a copy, and it's available on digital format as well. So go get it if you so choose to watch it, read it on your iPad. Rebecca, I couldn't find a solicit, so I really mean this. I cobbled this together. I really mean I cobbled it together. So. I hope you can do it.
Any
justice.
Complaints to Ray? All right. So Dr. Barda sits down with Dr. Sturman to dive deep into his role and behavior over the recent weeks. Barda's concerned with what he's becoming, after revealing that his ties with the Fist of Khonshu legacy has developed into something more. The first of Khonshu's avatars, is living within Bada, and in a moment against Vibro, an acolyte of Commodore Planet, Hunter's Moon unleashes himself with terrifying force. The chorus and the first have a hold of Hunter's Moon, and Bada claims that he's starting to be unsure where he ends and where they begin. Dr. Sturman offers her knowledge and skill as a psychologist and vows to help Bada with all she knows about superhuman menticide. Bada is grateful and tells her his name is Yaya. Elsewhere, in a hospital where Vibro lays recovering, a mysterious wall panel beeps unnoticed in the corner. Someone or something is watching.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
Look,
dun, dun.
I thought that was pretty funny, Rebecca. I thought, like, with the dramatic zoom in to that wall panel,
It was
when I
very
read
funny.
it, yeah, I was just thinking, what if that's just like the air conditioning panel? Like,
Yeah.
maybe we got it all wrong. Maybe it's like, a sensor, a motion sensor for the lights.
But that's the God's preview, right? That's the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this gods? What is going on? Do you know?
I
Are we
don't
getting
know. I don't yet care.
Rebecca, are
I
we
mean,
getting is Hercules coming in the mix? Is he
no,
there?
it's a new
No.
Hickman thing.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the new gods kind of thing. But like, we'll see. I mean, we
Oh,
both love it if it was Hercules, but
what if he does show up?
oh,
I
it'd
want
be
to know what.
great. We would be very
Yeah,
happy. But I wouldn't bet on it because they were
yeah.
also in the Hellfire Gala a bit, weren't they?
Oh, were they? Okay.
I don't know. I just think that like going to the whole thing of like, oh, Jonathan Hickman wrote a page, and for that page just to be a
That-
panel on a wall beeping.
Come on, that.
Is,
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I had to.
I don't think that Hickman spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's particularly like proud, like in
I
any
mean, if
way,
what
of
he
that
wrote
page
is
in particular.
epilogue and beep 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 beep,
Yeah,
then
exactly. I
bless
know. That's why I said I was flummoxed when he was credited with it. I mean, surely you just like let it slide and just say, okay, this is
I
just
guess it's just. I mean, it could
yeah.
have been more. I don't know. It's just like
Oh,
maybe
come on,
it's more.
Vibro. Vibro, a guy on his mobile phone sitting next to
Look,
Vibro
I'm
and
very
beep,
happy
beep,
to
beep,
have
beep.
Vibro in, like,
I know.
after a
Yeah.
billion Spider-Man deep cut baddies, to have an Iron Man one. Thank you, Jed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jed.
Vibro.
I was like,
To
ooh,
be
Vibro.
to be honest, I had not come across him before ever. But yeah,
Well, I've been reading old Iron Man recently, so I
so you
have.
came. Yeah. Is the
Yeah.
costume similar to the original or what's?
I mean, I don't really know the costume that
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I know that Rhodey fought him as Iron Man,
Okay. Ooh,
and
Rhodey.
then Tony fought him as Iron Man. So but yeah, he's not exactly been in much. I think just one issue.
Well, he's
So
nice.
deep
She's right.
dive, but this time in my corner of Marvel a little bit more.
That's great. I mean,
So,
Jed, we know. That's it. Whenever someone turns up, I always think, okay, this is something that Jed's picked up. Like, taking nothing away as well. Jed can create some really cool characters himself. But when you get someone like Vibro, I'm just thinking, oh yeah, where are we going now?
yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Rebecca, overall, then after that synopsis, what did you make of this issue? This was very obviously Hunter's Moon centric.
Yeah,
And
which we like. It's always it's an interesting one because like it's almost like I detach the story from like what we know is going on in the background, like because we know we've got this sort of death of Moon Knight
Mm,
arc coming up. Um that it kind of almost seems like positioning Bada to take over. Despite my
yeah,
speculation that it might be the kid from 25.
yeah,
I mean, I think this is the easy option, right?
yeah.
And it's kind of like instead of the DID, which is clearly um, something that writers are these days, thankfully, paying more attention to getting right
Hmm.
or getting more right or not being offensive about. We've kind of got something that kind of can take the place. So it's similar but not a mental health issue that
Hmm.
Like it's almost like when Moon Knight originated, and they hadn't sort of pinned down either the sort of DID, and it was you
Hmm.
didn't really know what the Jake and Stephen were.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of like they've done that to Barda, but been more specific about. Now we've got this the history. Now we know that there's the legacy Moon Knights are kind of all in reserve somewhere. And then it's an interesting way of doing it. It's kind of like, I think it's like Ragman almost, isn't it? Not to
Ragman.
not
That's a
to
nice.
not to pull from another DC comic
Oh
that's
no,
about
that's
a Jewish character.
I tried
Um,
Ragman. It was good. It was okay. Ragman was okay. I
but
thought.
that's a similar kind of thing, right?
Mm,
Except in Ragman, it's the souls of people that have died. This time, it's the previous Moon Knights that are coming in to kind of
yeah.
help him take over. Um, it's interesting, and it also sort of begs the question that if Mark does die, does I mean, presumably Barda would get access to him as well.
Yeah. Oh, true. He'd be like. The first thing I'm thinking of, Rebecca, is Tony Stark as AI. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you,
I
you
mean,
get
it is
you get
kind of like that,
yeah.
but
S-
it's interesting we're kind of introduced to this through a discussion with Sturman,
Mm,
who is very much the sort of there to help with sort of
yeah.
therapy.
And very consistent with the storytelling as well. It kind of cycles back to, would you
It's a
say
nice
Mark and
mirror to
Sturman?
Mark and
Mm,
Sturman, and also
yep.
means the stuff that Sturman's learnt from Mark about the whole menticide thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It could. It
could
could.
sort of play. I think it's interesting. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't really know how
Yeah.
I feel about it. It's kind of there.
Yeah. I'm kind of
Still,
with you. Yeah. S- Sorry. Yeah. I'm just
it feels
along
a bit
for the ride.
neat. I
Oh,
think
okay. Okay.
maybe.
Well, this is when the rug is pulled underneath you, Rebecca. So maybe this is exactly the sort of lull that Jed wants you to think, and
Yeah.
maybe,
No, I mean, I
yeah.
like that. I like how it's told. I like how it's playing out. I like the characterization. It's great to find out his name.
Hmm.
Um, I
Yeah.
love
No.
the art and stuff. I think
Yep.
Sabatini did very well. The
There's
coloring is amazing. The
oh,
color is
as
always amazing.
as always. But there's also a lot to play with, as you say. There's a lot of potential, and what I think and what interests and excites me is this notion of the first and the chorus, and what
Mm.
appears to be like almost a usurping of
Yeah,
Batter as a
yeah.
fist, and so there's a power struggle within. And does that mean that will internally, like through the first, not to say that it does, but become an evil force or whatever, or there's going to be some conflict there as
I
well.
think that is very interesting, and
Mm,
maybe it's a case that they would have done it to Mark, but his mind is too. Like when he talks
yeah. Yep.
to other characters that can get in people's mind, like Nightmare, and he's
Hmm.
like going, "Oh, you don't want to go into my mind," or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe this is how the Fits of Khonshu normally works,
Yeah.
or
And you have
maybe it
yeah.
is something to do with Barda's botched resurrection.
True.
Bearing because
Yeah.
that's where it stems from, isn't it? It's like
Yes.
you know,
That's
uh,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
When he died, we saw him die. Um,
So I'm
but
going
that's
back
an
on myself there, like going,
No, but that's an interesting point too, as well, and the fact that, as you said, I love that idea of the fact that Mark is broken, and you juxtapose or you look at that and look at Batter and how devout he is, and
mm.
maybe because he's so devout, maybe that's like easy for the
It's a bit of
chorus to
both,
kind
isn't
of
it? Because I had
yeah.
forgotten that the resurrection was a little bit messed up, but
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love these new elements that Jed MacKay has introduced now to Moon Knight. It's bringing back the supernatural, the fantastical elements to it as well. Don't get me wrong. I love the street level Moon Knight and all that, but adding this dynamic, it's similar to when they added the in the full moon. He gets like stronger. It's a
yeah, I
similar
mean,
kind of vibe.
it's something
Yeah.
that the other street level characters don't have, so
Mm,
it's surprising that it's not being stressed more. And
yeah.
given like Sturman's interest, but also having Badr arrive, who has that, like you said, the devotion, but
Mhm.
also the law. I mean, it is equivalent to sort of Danny getting the Book of the Iron Fist, like
Hmm.
suddenly knowing what's behind this character,
Yeah.
and just adding that up. So
Yeah, look, I'm just breaking here, breaking batter. I just want to say, I think I have no idea, Rebecca. I've got dibs on this. Might be Drew,
no,
but
it's Jonathan Sapsad.
oh, it's Jonathan. Okay, how long
Yeah,
before we get a story called Breaking Batter?
I
And
really hope very
also,
soon.
I hope very soon as well.
Yeah,
And also, I go, hey guys, up early enough to actually catch this live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're
that's Andrew Mayer.
oh, that is Drew. I thought
Yeah,
so. Drew, get on that
yeah,
elliptical trainer, friggin' smash it out. Come on, 25 minutes, level 10. Come on, do it.
and he also made the comment about the fist law. So
Oh, yes, all the new elements of the fist law have been so cool. Yeah, and tastefully done. I absolutely agree. And I just love it. I think it's really added a little more dimension to Moon Knight, and it's given him an opportunity for writers, if anything, to go down a different avenue. Like we've already got a really, I think, a cool story, Rebecca. I know we discussed it previously with Jonathan about City of the Dead, and the first issue was like a setup issue, but it's such a different flavor,
yeah,
to
yeah. I
this
mean, it's
one.
just showing you like what
Mm.
all the different like ways you can go, and he's actually sort of he's added lore that's worked and that we kind of embraced and doesn't feel like it's janky and sort of forced in, right from the minute of sort of the other fist, then it's all kind of fit, and it's kind
Hmm.
of nice to get some more of the supernatural side in, because let's face it, if you're working for a god, you want a little bit more supernatural stuff in there.
Exactly. And with that, Rebecca, I thought I may as well put up the comics for those looking on the internet. Not, of course, on the internet, on YouTube. What am I talking about? Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. Look, just going through it. Yeah, we've got the Gods page writer, Jonathan Hickman. Bit of an eye roll there. Anyway, yes. So, um, yeah, I mean, nothing that we already haven't said
Yeah, we've
has
kind of
been
covered
covered.
most of that story, so then
Yeah,
you just get to Vibro sort of saying, "Oh, Black Spectre
yeah,
said he's killing Moon Knight tonight, and here you are,"
yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah,
Well, actually, I mean, and of course, this totally makes sense because it is in context. But what I did find in this issue was that, like, when we go back to the Moloids and
hmm
Hunter's Moon, it's kind of like, oh wow, but yeah, that's right, but that happened a while ago, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I got that sense that it was like, oh, but because everything ties together, it works well. But I was just a little bit not shocked, but surprised that, oh yeah, we're going back to them, and we
yeah,
kind of get the story there. But
yeah."
as
That
you
was
mentioned,
cool.
yeah, that was good. And before we get into Vibro, there, Rebecca, as well, we get a little bit of a sense here. This whole issue is really kind of fleshing out the first and the legacy of Fist of Khonshu and the chorus, and how it's affecting Hunter's Moon. We get a lot more of a blood, I guess, a bloodthirsty Hunter's Moon. If I can track it, oh, again, look at these colors. If I
It's
can,
like they're just great.
oh, and we talk about splash pages as well.
It's
I
a really
mean,
beautiful one.
this is really cool. I love it. So one of the Moloids say, Batter says, "Let me strike first." Moloid alone, big brother. He goes, "I'm a fist of Khonshu, little brother. I am never alone." And I
And it's
like
really
that.
funny if you take out that first "I'm a fist of Khonshu," the "I'm
Mm.
never alone" is such a Mark comment as well.
It
Like
is, isn't
it's
it?
interesting
Yeah.
how well it fits. Like just but Barda means because of the old fist of Khonshu, and like Mark means because
Yeah.
Mark.
Um, yeah, exactly. Mark as well. Mark is such a weird one because he would say that at times he feels so alone, but he really isn't, because we know,
No,
like, he's got
yeah.
the cast of thousands and
I mean,
network.
he'd say both. Yeah,
You'd say
like
exactly.
so.
Yeah, depending on the day. But here we get a not that what I really enjoyed. Yeah, it's kind of fleeting, but
I
this
love that
nine
page.
panel,
Yeah,
yeah, this 9 panel page, just subdivided equally, and it has Hunter's Moon just going at it at the minions of Vibro, I guess, and Commodore Planet, but with also the Fists of Khonshu helping him out. So really does establish that he's got this force behind him. What is interesting though, Rebecca, is Oh, you're right. Actually, sorry, I'm thinking about it's a flawed resurrection that has done it, because I was about to say when he took on Moon Knight before, why
Yeah,
didn't we see
yeah.
any of this? But that wasn't because we found out later he gets killed by Nemean. So yeah, okay. Sorry, I've answered my own question.
No, it's
Um,
hard. It's like it's
yeah,
interesting because like it was a big deal, but he's not been our focus before. Like
no,
we've been
no,
focused on Mark, and then we have to kind of remember what happened with Butter.
yeah, and I do love these issues as well. I mean, there's that awesome. I'm going to throw it. I don't. Oh, I'm going to say 7, but I could be totally wrong. With Stained Glass Scarlet and
Oh,
Hunter's
that
Moon.
was
That was
so
an
good. Oh,
awesome issue. So I'm really glad that Jed has, again, gone back to
yeah,
a Hunter's Moon centric issue. And here we go, Vibro. Uh, yeah, looking pretty badass.
lovely.
What is his? Is so it's all technology based.
It's
It's like
vibration. It's
yeah, like
vibration
Shocker.
based.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. But it's not. It's all. It looks. I'm just looking at it now. He's
like
got tubes and
earthquakey.
guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so he does all that. But yeah, Hunter's Moon has no bar of it, and I love this. Again, a couple of great panels here. I think Sabatini really is. Um,
He's
maybe it's just
grown
Jed
so
MacKay.
much.
He
Yeah.
has, but I'm thinking maybe it's Jed, the one that kind of says we need a big splash, because we've seen it on both artists
Oh
now.
yeah, for sure. Well, I think also
Mm,
like Sabatini is trying to stay in the same
yeah,
stylistic sort of thing as
true.
Cap. So yeah, I mean it could be either.
And I really want to learn more about this first person or
Oh yeah,
grenade.
no, I definitely do. That would be a really interesting thing to sort of flash back to in some
Yeah.
annual or give us at some point.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Rebecca, this is the same Fist of Khonshu, the first that we saw in I can't is it the Kang? Was it the annual that we saw with Kang and Moon Knight, and we saw the first?
I
It
think
was
so,
almost
yeah. God, I
yeah,
don't remember
and
where, but we've definitely seen him, yeah.
but also in the Jason Aaron run, you do see the caveman
Yeah,
Fist of
yeah.
Khonshu. So this could be. I think this is the one and the same. Um,
It's
but
really hard
yeah,
to tell from the picture we get here, but
it is.
you
Yeah,
would think the 10,000 BC one would be the
that one.
first. I mean,
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
who
ten
knows? It's
thousand
Marvel,
bees.
but you know.
Wasn't it 10 million? I don't know, some
I
crazy.
don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it
Um.
was. Once you go back that far, it doesn't matter how many zeros you add.
Exactly.
They're all
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Yes. Now, also, finally, Rebecca, I just wanted to, I don't know, get your thoughts on the significance of Bada giving his name. I mean, because this is how the issue pretty much ends. This being I guess a huge sign of confidence in Sturman.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's also it's now he's firmly a character to stay kind of thing as well.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just like I don't know if we'll ever call him that, but
yeah, yeah,
we should.
exactly. Sorry, I have missed a few things while I was flicking through the
Oh yeah,
comic.
go on.
All eyes, we've done that. That was Drew.
They're all true.
I'm aiming to get bad buff. Drew, mate, you are already better buff. No worries about
He
it.
is pretty buff.
Yeah. And Drew also says, side note, I'm a Hickman fanboy at this point, and I am just so effing excited for Gods to start off next month. His current Ultimate Invasion is very, very cool too. Yeah, Rebecca, where else is Gods featured? Do we know? Is it like an event thing or what's
It's a series. I think probably a mini series, maybe a maxi series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So and then he's I think just dropped in to advertise it in a few issues beforehand. I
Okay.
agree. I mean, I love Hickman. I think Ultimate Invasion so far has been better than I hoped.
Oh gosh, I haven't even.
Uh,
Yeah, is it good? Okay.
yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. I think he's very competent writing the Avengers and generally. A little bit of it's interesting to suddenly have a focus on Howard Stark. For me
Hmm.
personally, so I'm getting used to that. And I think God sounds fascinating. I just think this
Okay.
preview was a little bit like what. I think Hickman is so accomplished that when I see a
Yeah,
page like that, I find it. I take my
I
opportunity to
know
laugh at
exactly.
how
Yeah,
much writing went into that. But
exactly.
no, I am always excited about Hickman content
Yeah, I
because
mean,
he just comes at it differently from other people. So
he does. He does. He does. For me, I mean, it has been an inconsistent reading of his stuff. Some I've liked, some I haven't. But all I can say, Jonathan, Mr. Hickman, if you're listening, Hercules, add him in to
oh
God's
my
instant
god,
win.
we would die of happiness.
Instant win. Thank you. Mic drop. But yeah, no, that's great. Great to hear, Drew. And yeah, I must check out this Ultimate
Yeah,
Invasion.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be worth buying in trade in the end.
Okay, is
Like
this
I'm
the
not sure
one with?
it's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's the Ultimate Universe people. It's the
Yeah,
maker and
it's with
scheming.
Brian Hitch, right? The
Yeah,
artist.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, nice. Okay, no, fair enough. Also, we've got something else here. I think it's from Drew. I was also a big surprise
Yeah.
fan of the City of the Dead too. Yeah, me too. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I'm an MCU fan, of course, so I'm biased, but I thought they brought in the MCU elements flawlessly, and the supernatural stuff is welcome to me. I'll stop spamming chat. Haha, miss chatting. You'll hope to.
No, we were chatting to you. It's nice to have you. So
Yeah, it's great, Drew, as well. And just don't fall off the treadmill, okay? If you're typing, just just hold two hands, okay? Two hands
do
on.
what Barda would do.
Do what Vada would do.
Focus.
The focus, yes. So no, thank you so much, Drew. It's awesome to hear from you and everyone else as well. In this this live stream, Rebecca. I guess having said that, let's do some ratings. Because we do have a bit of feedback at the end as well, so I want to go through
Okay,
that.
cool.
But
Ratings. You do yours
Mhm.
first. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah, look, I really enjoy this look as well. I'm really enjoying both the City of the Dead and, of course, Jed MacKay's run. Side note, Jed, yes, I can't wait to have you back on the show. Yeah, really good. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it was very solid. I love learning more about Hunter's Moon. I love like diverting away from Mark, and I love adding these extra elements to Moon Knight lore. I think it's just very strong, and I think it's important carrying Moon Knight forward that he, writers add a little bit here and there. Like we got it with Bemis as well. We got it with Lemire, to an extent. But yeah, just how writers add a little bit more to the lore, which is really cool. And I think Jed, you're doing a fantastic job with making Moon Knight interesting and kind of ever modernizing him. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. How about you, Rebecca?
I was gonna give it 7.5 actually. I
Nice.
did like it. I don't want to judge it based on my concerns about potentially losing Mark, and because I do think Jed is building out Butter incredibly well,
Hmm.
and I'm not precious about legacy characters generally. Quite like them. There's a little bit of reticence about potentially losing a Jewish character. But then we don't have many Egyptian characters, so you know what?
Mm.
If it's Butter, I'm good with it for now. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I
So
think if you're a
yeah.
Moon Knight, you can't ever really be dead.
No, exactly. I mean, look, I just kept on thinking as well, Rebecca.
I'm just trying not to let it color my view of the issue.
Oh no, of course, and look, if it's transitory. I mean, we know as well. At the moment, Frank Castle is not the Punisher. There's this
Yeah.
new person that's a Punisher. It looks like Moon Knight's going to be kind of through the same thing. But I'm sure we'll get Mark back. But in the meantime, I can't wait to see, and hopefully, Hunter's Moon really does instill himself into the Marvel cinematic universe. Marvel
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
Similar to the new iteration of Scarlet Scarab from the City of the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see
Yeah.
her back. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I think the storytelling's great still. I
Mhm.
think this is probably the most seamless switch from Capuccio to Sabatini.
Oh, Sabatini's art.
I
Yeah, I've
mean,
got it.
it's
Yeah,
like
good idea. Good point. Yeah.
it's really so incredibly Like I think we're just so lucky to have the art team be
Yeah.
so solid throughout, and like every time we've had a shift, it's always been to Sabatini, and he's like always stepped up and just got better and better. But anyway, I don't want
Yeah.
to get in the way of our feedback. Sorry, just remembered
Oh no, that's
feedback.
all right. No, I just want to add on to that as well. I'm not sure how hard or how easy the logistics are, but like I full credit to editorial as well for
Mm.
sticking with a consistent alternative artist, because we could easily have got in the past, if Capuccio has a break, we have different artists here and there, and it could really be disconcerting as well. And I think Sabatini, a lot of loonies weren't taken to him because they love Capuccio so much. I love Capuccio, but I think Sabatini's doing some fantastic
Yeah.
work. So I've got to tip my hat off to him as well. So doing really good work. I follow him on Twitter as well. He's just got some great art coming out. So really enjoying it as well. Rebecca, I've forgotten now. We do have quotation mark. This is our
Yeah.
feedback.
Oh yes.
So learning feedback, quotation mark. We do have some feedback from our Facebook group. So thank you so much for weighing in. And you had a little bit of extra time because, of course, we had that 19 minutes that got shot down in flames. Rebecca, do you want to lead us off with the first one?
Yes. So this is from Lena.
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting that we got to see Dr. Barda on Dr. Sturman's couch and finally learned his given name. I thought when I saw the name of this story was Personality Crisis, that knowing Jed, that probably won't mean what we think it means. I was happy to find out that I wasn't mistaken about Jed's predictable unpredictability. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So Hunter's Moon now has a condition that's sort of kind of DID-ish, but not really. Is this Jed's way of priming him to be the next Moon Knight?
Mm.
I was thinking that his being taken over by old dead fists reminded me of something I've seen in comics before, and then it hit me. It was back in Mark Spector I'm in Deep Denial run when Frenchie was in a Professor X hover chair and had the ability to be possessed by his own ancestors. I think he was calling himself Bloodline or something like that. I don't know. I've tried to block those issues out of my memory. I also thought it was interesting that Hunter's Moon is now big brother to the Moloids. Is it just me, or did they seem a lot more intelligent than they used to be? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping maybe we get to see Hunter's Moon kick the crap out of Mole Man in an upcoming issue. Overall, I like this one a lot. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice
the
one, Lena.
Moloids definitely seemed a little bit more with
Maybe
it.
he was hobnobbing with the best of the
They did have
Moloids,
their little moon logos on their little moons on their forehead. Maybe that gave them some extra.
Yeah. I think it's Drew again. Apologies because I only get Facebook user on this. I think Drew says I wasn't feeling the issue until Batter gives his first name. I like that. Yes, it
Oh,
seemed
nice.
quite a significant move. So yeah. So no, thank you so much, Lena. Yeah, 8.5, far out, putting my marking to shame. But some great points there, and I have
That
to
was
laugh.
Jonathan Sapsard.
Oh, that was Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan. Nice one.
No, I have to keep going back to Facebook to have a look.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the comments on the Moloids and Frenchie and Bloodline. And
I just saw the
let's
next
leave
comment.
that.
It's brilliant.
Oh yeah. So the next one, this was in response to Lena's comment, a post, and it's from Stephen O'Leary. I also think they're priming Hunter's Moon to be the next Moon Knight, but how great would it be if the next Moon Knight was just a bunch of Moloids in Moon? Stephen, MVP award. You get the ITK, the first ever ITK award. The no prize.
It's just brilliant.
That's
It made me
awesome.
laugh so much.
That's awesome. Can you imagine like a 3-foot Moon Knight just break into the bar with no name and go, okay, who am I going to take out now? And it's a Moloid.
The Moloids all like standing on each other's shoulders to fit into the Moon Knight suit.
in a trench coat or something,
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you so much for that. That's awesome. Yeah, Rebecca, there's one other one. I mean, we've heard from him earlier in this episode, but Mario, did you come?
So Mario says it's a difficult issue to review, really. On the one hand, it's an excellent spotlight on Hunter's Moon, updating us on just what happened when he was resurrected and what went wrong. We get insight into his character and some excellent action scenes. On the other hand, as part of the whole Black Spectre storyline, it's basically filler. The plot doesn't move forward at all. Mark doesn't even get a panel, and the
Sure,
Gods
yeah.
page scripted by Hickman is utterly pointless. Thank you. A blinking red light neither explains what's going on nor makes me care about the upcoming issue. I mean, that is the problem.
It
There's
is,
another
yeah.
page in Doctor Strange this week. It's the Doctor Strange number 6.
Mhm.
That has more narrative but still lacks enticement value. Okay, so Hellfire Gala is so far looking like the biggest insight into the Gods thing so
Ah,
far.
okay.
And even that was just like a couple of comments. So on
Yeah.
the third hand, we get Vibro, one of Iron Man's lamest foes, according to an actual published comic. Another of Jed's patented deep cuts. All in all, a bit weak, but still pretty good. 8 out of 10.
Wow, Mario, to be not scathing, but to be so kind of critical of it and still come out with an 8 out of 10.
Well,
Well done.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's only critical about some aspects of it. Like,
Yeah.
I think, like, because it starts off by saying it's an excellent spotlight in Hunter's Moon, and then
Yeah,
criticizing
true,
all the little
true.
bit, and it's like that. The issue is the spotlight on Hunter's Moon, so that is I can see why that matches with the score, because that is 90% of the issue. I agree. I think maybe Mario there picked up on what I felt about it a little bit, is that it's a bit of a stuttering halt to the Black Spectre storyline.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
absolutely.
so
Well, I'd call it a break
I
though,
love it,
like
but
an
it's like,
intermission
but
from it. Yeah,
well, and it is, but I
yeah,
also see, like, we are getting into that kind of, it's building up, it's building up, it's building up, and then suddenly this, and then
yes.
and which is great, but I think that's maybe what wrong-footed me a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And Rebecca, I just want to say as well, you two get an ITK no prize for knowing what OTOH was on the fly. I thought that would have stumped you, but you just went ahead and said, "Yep." On the other hand, I just said, "Wow, what? That is awesome." I would have no idea what that OTOH was.
Oh,
So,
bless you.
so well done. That's awesome. Thank you, Mario, so much. Yeah, some great comments there, and yeah, Hickman, utterly
I'm just
pointless.
relieved that somebody else
I
felt the same about the God
ah,
page. Like,
I'm glad someone said it. So it was really terrible. Not terrible. I mean, just pointless.
it's just
As
funny. I
well.
mean, it
Yeah,
literally is funny. Like, oh yeah, Hickman scripted a page, and then it's like,
I
okay.
know. That is full on. That is leaning on the name. That is name dropping to the nth
That is
degree.
like kind of okay.
Seriously.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad Hickman got involved, right? Like,
Yeah,
I-
exactly. That's
and,
terrible.
and the funny thing is, like, Gods will come out, and this will be this really, really significant thing or something.
Oh, that red dot on the wall.
That
Oh
red
my
dot will
god,
be
it was
like
a red dot
so
all along.
important. Like, yeah,
It was so awesome. Yeah. If we didn't know about the red dot, that would
yeah.
make no sense at all. So, no, thank you so much, all the loonies and patroonies that have joined us for the show. It's been so much fun, Rebecca. As always, it's a lot of fun. Like I love Drew just in the gym, just
Yeah,
texting
this
in
is really
some
cool.
stuff.
Like, I mean, I know it's not the normal time we do this, but
Yeah, and I really appreciate it, guys. And thank you so much. Next phase, Rebecca, I've got to say. Oh, actually, this is a spectacle. Is there anything that you want to give a shout out to, Rebecca, before we start signing off?
no, just these usual things. I think we're doing a
Yeah,
DCAU podcast this week and an Immortal Iron Fist podcast this week.
yeah,
I'm
but
out of track a little bit.
you got a and I don't know how far ahead you record, but you have special guests from LSK from Last Sons
We
of
do,
Krypton.
yeah. So in
Connor.
DCAU podcast, we've done
Mhm.
a Superman loss. I don't remember what it's called. Don't.
That
It was
one,
a Superman film. Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow.
Man of Tomorrow. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So Connor guested on that. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And then I'm talking to Connor about, we're doing Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. We're going back to that for the Iron Fist
Nice.
podcast. So.
Very cool. I'm gonna toot my own horn as well. Just recorded with Saren our latest episode of To Know Her Is to Fear Her Spider Woman podcast. So check it out in the coming days.
Did you see the announcement that the new Spider Woman run is now an ongoing?
Yeah. Yep. Saren picked up on that,
Nice.
and we didn't know whether it was like an unintentional kind of like leak, but yeah, the article in Marvel said it's ongoing. It's going to lead into the ongoing, so that is so awesome. We'll have Steve Fox with us next month to chat with him. So can't wait. He's a huge Spider Woman fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also as well, I'll be recording. Just dropped an episode in Predator and Prey. The inimitable Sparky Malarkey, who's been on the ITK show, she is now, I'm assuming, I think she is a regular co-host with Russell, Justin, and myself. So she
Nice.
jumped in. She chatted. They all chatted about Predator in video games, which is pretty cool. And we'll be recording a review on the latest issues 4 and 5 of Ed Brisson's Predator. So that's looking
Nice.
forward to that as well. And speaking, Rebecca, of special guests next phase, I'll have to work with you with time. So we do have Erica Schultz
Yes.
locked in. So Erica, for those that don't know, she is writing the What If. What if Moon Knight? I kind of was it. What if he died, or what if he was not Moon Knight? Mark Spector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I can't remember the dark what if Moon
The
Knight,
Dark
isn't it?
What If. Yeah. So excited to chat. Erica returning to the show. We've had her on before for Black, White, and Blood. So can't wait to chat with Erica, catch up. And we know that she's a big Moon Knight fan, so it's going to be a really good chat to have with her about how she approached a what if.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because obviously we've not read it yet, but it's going to be an interesting
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Rebecca and I, we have a few special guests lined up. I cannot wait to get into them and get them into the show. It'll be all really good. Once again, a huge thank you to all our patronies. Check out patreon.com/ITK Moon Knight, and you too can become a Patreon member. Huge thanks to the likes of Odin, Frank, Daniel, Mario, Justin, Derek, Wayne, Josh, Anthony, Russell, Michael, Drew, Matthew, Jonathan, and Dan. All you guys, thank you so much for your support. Just helping us through. Really, really appreciate it. Big principal sponsors as well: Odin, Frank, Daniel Doing, and Drew, who's still you're pumping the iron now. You're pushing the tin, Drew. Come on, another rep.
You can do it.
You can do it. All fantastic people in their own rights. Odin Sword with his podcast, Drinking Marvel Podcast. Frank the Think Tank. They're a little bit quiet, but they do have a podcast, I Want to Fight It podcast, which has been pretty fun. Daniel releasing an action figure of Fringe Knight, his own creator-owned character from Erie, Pennsylvania. Well done, Daniel. And Drew, of course, creating some awesome music. Go check out SoundCloud and Bandcamp as well. As well as CLZ Comics and Dreamland Comics. CLZ Comics, check out collectors.com, and Dreamland, use the code MOON and get 20% off their online store. And finally, you'll get to hear Rebecca in other great shows as well, as mentioned on DCAU, DC Animated Universe podcast, as well as Sons of the Dragon, Immortal Iron Fist podcast. I'm just going to give our shows a plug, Rebecca, as well as Predator and Prey, Ucha podcast, which I'm on, which we've just mentioned previously, and also To Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider Woman podcast. One little shout out to Inner Demons as well. Brian Biggie, still doing it. He's doing it solo. Well done, Brian. Keep it up. Ghost Rider. We need more support for Ghost Rider. Finally, as well, I'm going to shoot this up onto the screen. You can send us your thoughts. It's always fun to hear from you. Let me get rid of that. Email feedback at itkmoonnight.com. We've got the website itkmoonnight.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The important thing to remember is the handle at itkmoonnight.com. Just check it out. Also on Discord as well. The likes of Rebecca is quite active in it, as well as Fi. A big shout out again to Fi as well. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of content, a lot of ways to chat with your fellow loonies.
Yeah, and we have a lot of new issues coming up, so we'll need all your feedback.
We need all your feedback. We need all your thoughts. I can't wait. And thank you so much to everyone that has been joining recently. I should shout out to the Facebook group as well. It's still going great. I think we're edging towards 2,000 now, so we're very close. Thank you so much for keep on keep on being interested in it. Thank you to those the bots as well that have decided to join and to amp up the numbers. With that, Rebecca, thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
And as always, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Catch you later.
Take care, everyone. Bye.